Hi friends, Tilly here, and I'm in a conundrum. So I decided that what I needed to do was share it with you. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and let's talk. I am now starting to be in the full throes of um, wedding. The oldest granddaughter is going to be married beginning in the summer, and I have some chores. Now, the first chore is almost done, but I won't show that to you until later. She wanted a garter that she saw on Pinterest, and I haven't. I have all the components, but it's not totally put together yet. But I'll share it as soon as it is. And then we're talking about it, and the second one, now that's God's assignment, because I have a huge hydrangea in the right off the patio down here, um, outside the basement, or God bless my mess, as we all know it, with the kids helped me plant a hydrangea, and it now just blooms profusely. And they're snow white in June, and they, as the summer wears on, they turn to a almost a lime green. They're lovely, but in June they are snow white and huge heads, and so those are going to be the flowers used mainly for maybe the bridesmaids carrying one because the heads are huge, but they will be probably used for centerpieces. And right now, it's to be the little canning jars in the center of the table. The wedding will be held at or the reception will be held at the winery, and here locally, and they will put the jars in the center of the table, and then float, or not float because they're not going to fit down into the jars. That going to cut them off so that just the heads are um, are sitting in the jars. And then around the neck of the jar, we intend, for right now, the plan is to tie these, which are just, if you can see, I just cut them with my Big Shot, and oh, what is this? The tag maker. I can't turn it around fast enough. But I cut them all out with the tag, uh, and then I just used the Fabri-Tac and went around the outside edges, and then the little holes. Otherwise, they would have come undone. And been afraid. But let me show you what this was, just a practice, and we've decided that and this is backwards, upside down, everything. We've decided, my granddaughter did this, and we're going to, okay, we're going to take that off. And we're just going to put the number, and then, so this will indicate the table number of each table. So it'll be tied with a ribbon. The colors are, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a darker coral, and so that's the ribbon that will go around, and we'll tie this on to each table around the jar, so that people can pick up their assigned tables outside, and then when they come in, they can look for these tied around the mason jars with the flowers. Okay, well, and I've got all of those cut out, and all of them are sealed. See there? Okay, so that's another chore down. And then she decided that, I don't know why I didn't do a video of the baskets that I made up for the family this year. I did last year. And I did the origami box last year for each family. When this year, one part of the conundrum is I can't remember um, whose video I got the German bell the fold, and what she decided was she wanted the wedding almonds, those candy coated almonds, to go inside the German bell that I had made for each one of the families. She liked those, so I've been in. We're talking. I mean, I'm thinking we're getting close to 200 bells, so I'm starting now, and I'm doing a few at a time, and then we can have an assembly line because I put little holes. I don't know if you can see, but right here at the tip of the bell, I put little holes in all four corners and run ribbon through it, or seam binding through it, and then tie it in a bow at the top. And the Christmas ones, I actually had a dangle. I popped a little hole in the bottom and put some um, of the seam binding here, and had it a dangle. Some of the crystal, each one was different, but there was something dangling from the bottom from each one of them. And so I've started making these. Okay, now the paper that I got, that I was able to get at a reasonable price to be able to make that many, because these are the 8 by 8, and to tell you the truth, a lot of people are getting rid of their 6 by 6 packs, but I needed the 8 by 8, and so the cheapest I could do was I found a lot of paper pad. $9.99 for sale at Joann's, which had many, many pages of the colors that I thought would be that would go along with the theme. And so I bought that to start making them, and but it's a 12 by 12. So now another conundrum. Here I've got all this, I've got these pieces cut out, the 8 by 8s cut out of the 12 by 12s, and I am left over with a bunch of, this. Okay, now what to do with this? I am showing you my tower of shame, and this is scrap paper. So you all have had a million different ways of storing your your bits and pieces, and I have my way in that, stack it all in one big stack. Now it's about ready to fall over, so I decided that in between making the German bells, that I was going to make some of these little cards. And this is where, what is this, number 5 conundrum or number 4 conundrum? In one of my swaps, and it's been maybe even last year, one of you ladies sent a whole little handful of these little thank you notes, and my lighting again is just terrible, of these little thank you notes, and it's just on a cream colored paper, and then it's, you see this, just pieces of pattern paper on top with a little thank you down here, and a little stick on up here in an envelope. Well, I'm not going to be doing the envelopes because very seldom do I use envelopes. I either enclose these little notes in a swap, and so it's going in an envelope, in the big envelope. um, I would wrap the gift up and just stick my little note inside the ribbon, the gift, and then put that inside the big envelope. So I'm not making envelopes for these right now, but I am making a ton of these little guys. And they also work for, when we go to our shows, quite often people will ask for my card, and this isn't mine, but it is a sample of just a business card. I just print my own off the printer, but this will fit. I can put the card in here And where's the camera? Okay, I can put the card in here and just kind of stick it down and close this up and have a thank you right here for them asking for my card, and I can present it to them that way instead of just handing them a card. It might it might keep it more front and center for them when they get home. They get it out of their pocket and go, oh yeah, I remember asking for that. So anyway, I'm doing these cards right now. See where this leads? I start with one thing and I end up in a totally different direction. However, um, I can't keep making the German bells, not 200 of them all at one time. That would drive me right over the wall. So what I'm doing is I'll do some of the bells, then I'm stopping, I'm going through my stash, I'm looking for solid colors, and measuring those because I'm doing them about the size of the ACT cards. So I'm doing about a 7" by 2.5". So any of these that are measuring out right of the solids, I'm making into these cards. And then I'm taking all of the patterned um, papers that I have in my stack of shame and cutting them out for the front, and just gluing them on. That's all I'm doing, is just leaving just on the outside edges, just going around with a little glue and maybe a dot in the center, and then plop right onto here. And so they're ready to go. I will stamp them, and after I make a few of these and start getting tired of doing these, I'll go back to doing some more German bells. So hopefully by June I'll have 200 of those devils made, and I'll have a big uh, dent here in my stack of shame. So that's what I'm up to right now, and so that's just the first part of wedding news to come, as I am so excited about this. So anyway, I'll keep you posted as to where I am and how the stack of shame is doing. And you guys just keep giving me those wonderful ideas as to how you store your your bits and pieces, as I just hate to I hate to throw away any things, but there's just so much storage down here, and then I've got to start doing something with it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm starting to do something with it. So I better get busy and start doing something with it. And thank you for sharing some of your time today. You've actually made me feel better sitting out there and listening to my problems. So have another cup of coffee on me, and have a restful Sunday, and I'll talk to you again real soon. So bye-bye for now.